Hey folks, welcome to another lesson. This lesson is going to cover a lot of miscellaneous things related to combat that I think are very important for you to know, and I just don't have any other place to put them. One thing I neglected to mention with the stances, and it's okay that I did so, is that every weapon has running attacks and dodging attacks. So running attacks, all you got to do is just sprint and then attack. This is usually stance dependent as well. You'll get different attacks depending on your stance. This does apply to pretty much every weapon, so you can bear that in mind. The ones that have the most unique animations for running attacks are sword, spear, and I would say fists. I can't think of anything else, but again, it's just, don't ask me why, I don't really know why, but there's basically unique animations for every stance, for every weapon. And so you can use that to help you engage opponents and do all sorts of things from there. But aside from running attacks, you've got dodge attacks. So dodge attacks are, as they sound, you dodge and then you press an attack. And this too depends on your stance. Sometimes there's a difference between forward rolls and backward rolls. This isn't always the case. So for example, with the hatchets, forward roll gives me this, backward roll also gives me that, but then sometimes it can be a little weird. If you press strong attack instead of quick attack, it can be slightly different depending on the direction you dodge. So for example, let's try this. It just really depends. So you'll get a bunch of different attacks depending on what button you press, but in general, they should be about the same. Sword, spear, and fist, again, I think I have the most unique animations, but that's just... why that's the case, again, I don't know. But bottom line, you've got running attacks that largely depend on the stance, and same with dodge attacks, which is really cool. So, right. Next up, here's just some basic information. In case it was not obvious, you will actually do additional damage. So right now I do 70 damage. You'll do additional damage if you hit them from the back. If you will let me. Come on, let me get behind you. Hey, come on, go for it. Okay. So I went from 70 to 110 damage. So it's a modest increase. Also, pay attention to my key bar. I'm gonna let him hit me. Did you notice my key is going down? So the reason why I let him hit me is because whenever you perform an attack or an enemy performs an attack against you, not only will you take health damage, but you will also take key damage. So you gotta be careful. So they can deplete your key just as much as you can deplete theirs. Okay. And then you can, again, also inflict key damage when they're blocking. I'm gonna need this chump to start blocking, please. So you heard that little clink. I'll bring him back up again. You heard that little clink. I need him to be blocking. But when they're blocking, if you do any sorts of attacks... Oh, start blocking, please. Start blocking! Oh. So even though he's blocking, I'm still able to inflict key damage. But that key damage is governed pretty much by break. So the more break you have, the better. Also, you see that targeting reticule? You press triangle. Well, I made an attempt. Fine, I'll have to show it again. Also, you see that? You can go up for a grapple by pressing triangle. You'll usually get a pretty whopping amount of damage. So anytime you see that, you can go for some devastating power move, whether it be a grapple or a final blow, but I'll touch on that a bit more specifically when I deal with human AI. Many enemies can perform grabs, alright? Let me see if I can get this Yoki to perform a grab. That actually is something I was going to cover later, but come on, do a grab. Grab me, please. Come on. Grab me. No attacks. Grab. Stop. Come on, grab me. No, not that. Oh, nice dodge. Grab me, dude. Come on, I ain't got all day. Okay, you're cool. Come on, grab. Alright, you saw that, right? And I'll just take the wallop. So you saw how there was this grayish sort of animation around his hand. That signifies a grab. And you can't block it. You pretty much just have to avoid it. Eventually you can kind of learn like weak spots for opponents. I'll get into that when I deal with Yokai AI. But you basically have to pretty much avoid grabs at all times. Just get in the habit of dodging from them or running away or something. They are usually very deadly. And then one other thing I want to show you is this burst counter. So when you see somebody flash red, you definitely want to attempt a burst counter. Sometimes grabs like that could be burst counters if they have that telltale red sort of flash around the character. But more often than not, like I said, you pretty much just have to avoid them. And yeah, if you haven't done so already, please do watch my burst counter guide. That is going to basically inform you exactly how they work, what they're useful for, so on and so forth. So you can do cool stuff like that. I mean, that was a lot of damage. Yeah, make sure you absolutely, without a doubt, watch the burst counter guide before you proceed any further, because we'll need to know how to do that when we deal with the AI. Hope this lesson, although short, was helpful. I'll see you guys next time.